Hey again, Kevin Yannick here at the Hillhead show. We got Norbert Dieplinger with SBM Mineral Processing. Norbert, great to see you.
Great to see you. So yeah, I'm with SBM. I'm area manager for the UK market and also other markets. And we are here the third time now and presenting our Jawmax and Remax range of crushers. Jawmax is a jaw crusher, and Remax on the other side, you will see later, is impact crusher size. So that's two mid-sized crushers. The uniqueness of our units are, especially that's the direct drive system we're using on our machines. So we run a genset, and the genset powers the crusher. So for the units, it doesn't matter where the power comes from, as long as it's enough. You can go mains, you can go an external genset, and so on. So, and this is quite unique in the market. So today everybody's talking about hybrid and fuel saving and all these kind of things. But we did this, we're kind of a pioneer doing this. And even the first unit, the first track unit we brought out, the mid-80s was electric like today. And so since we developed the whole machines and the whole drive system. So what we see here on this side is basically the Jawmax 450. It's a mid-size 1100 by 700 crusher. It's a quite common size, and also especially in the recycling market. They want to go in and out easy. They want to change location without having, all these expensive permits to pay. And so this machine goes in to a site, and even 10 minutes later you're up and running. What we see here is, 40-ton crusher, which is a nice size of weight, especially for transport again. You feed this machine, from the backside. If we start there as a feeder, then it has an independent breeze screen. It goes through the jaw. We have a reversible jaw here. We also have a protection system. If there is an unbreakable piece going into the jaw, it opens up, let the unbreakable piece fall through, and it goes back to the previous setting without having the crusher stop, okay? So this helps you up in the process and makes another couple percentage on more money, because the money comes in the front of the crusher, and that's the material you have on the ground, right? So the whole machine, we go further. Underneath is a deflector plate, protects the belt for when steel comes through. And then it goes onto this nice and steady, conveyor belt and gets discharged. Also, on this machine here, we have an electric magnet. So there's different options: permanent magnets, electric magnets. You can have the discharge chutes to the left, to the right. You can lift and lower the magnet, all from the remote control, which helps operators keeping a little bit away from the crusher, which is thinking about health and safety things. You know what I mean? These days,
It's got to be part of the equation, right?
Exactly. So the more I can do remotely, still looking at the machine, but still not touching the machine, and I can operate it. And this helps me also, keeping the operation running. Then we have a genset on board on each of the crushers. Depending on the size, it's a different one. Just on this one here, on the Jawmax 450, we have a Cummins engine, 6.7 liters, which is a small engine at the end of the day, 6 cylinders. We have a 110 kilowatt electric motor to run the crusher, and all the other motors, for the conveyors, it's all electrically driven. This one has a 250 kVA, that's the generator. So the machine produces that much energy that we also can power external equipment like staking conveyors or, a welder, if they do service or something like that. You see the plugs on the machines, from, let's say, 16 amps, 32 amps to 63 amp, and this all together. And if you put this into one Excel sheet, you see this is all the different costs, including labor. Then you have the total cost of ownership, and that's what counts at the end of the day, and then okay, this is the way to go. And if you look around here, also here at Hillhead, everybody's talking about hybrid. Even we do this since the 80s already, but that's the future.
the hybrid concepts, I mean, that's kind of been prevalent here in the European market or
Right.
the UK where we're standing today. But, in the US, I guess we've been a little bit slower to come there. But there's got to be a huge opportunity. I mean, we're going to see a shift there at some point.
Sure.
That coming online.
It's it depends on the countries or regions. As you say, here in the UK, it's or Europe. It's a little bit, let's say, maybe a couple of years ahead. And then you have other countries they're a little bit behind, but it's coming, and that's the point, right? So, and the nice thing, if you look at it, especially about the US market, is you spend not the money to prove all this stuff, not on our side because we are there since the 80s, but you get proven concepts, let's say, talk about 5 years, 5 years later, you can choose and you have proven concepts.
Right, the U.S. market can benefit from what's already been going on.
Exactly. So it's not always a bad thing, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's just let the others try, and I don't want to be the one trying out, this is like if I would buy a car, same thing. So, if we go over to the impact crusher, that we have here a Remax 400 at the stand and a Remax 450 at the booth, at the demo area. That's 50-ton crushers, that's the weight of the machine, or 53, depending on the options. And then impactor box is about 1300 wide. All 2 units we have here, they have a single deck final screen, so post screen, which is 1.4 by 3.8 meter. So it's a banana shaped screen, which allows you to have basically a smaller screen with a higher production just because of the design of the screen. Everything is electrical driven, like on the Jawmax. So there's electric motors on all the different conveyors, screen, drives, inlets. And as you see, they are pretty clean, easy to service and maintenance, which is always a big thing, especially on mobile plants. Mobile plants are sometimes a kind of a compromise you have to do, because you still want to be mobile. And that's just how we built these machines. There's no plastic covers on all these machines. It's all steel and metal. So really, this is reliability. That's what it is.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, hey, I appreciate you spending some time with us at Hillhead. Best of luck to SBM Mineral Processing here and beyond.
Sure.